Здравствуй. I'm sorry. Извините. Здравствуйте. Меня зовут Рикардо Гон. Приятно познакомиться. As always, I stumble when speaking foreign language. Anyway, of course, Russian language is one of my foreign languages I have studied, and among the foreign languages, maybe I think for me, the only one foreign language I can use is English. But actually, if you are frequent listener, you have already found my English, my English is not so good. So because to start with, what I said is really weird is really weird. That is because when it comes to English language, so if you say something like your English is really bad, so your English is really bad is what you have to say, not your English is not so good. Instead of saying your English is not so good, so of course compared with as a beginners of studying English, I'm thank you very much, but I think I'm a better English speaker than those beginners or the novices of studying English language. But actually, when it comes to the comparisons between my English skill and the English skills of other non-native speakers. For example, the non-native speakers living in some advanced Western European countries. Maybe those European people must be better speakers than I am. So which is really easy for you to understand, I think. So this time, I often I always digress when creating episodes of my podcast. So anyway, so this time what I'm going to talk about is Маленькая Россия очень сильно. So I'm going to tell you again the title. So the title is Маленькая Россия очень сильно, which is the title of this episode. So the meaning is, so it's really difficult to tell you the translation of this title, and the translation is small Russia or little Russia is very strong, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So what is little Russia? So if you hear little Russia, so you may understand that I said something disgusting against Russian government or Russian the country Russia. So but actually so this little Russia is this little Russia or small Russia points out or indicates or designates Ukraine. Ukraine has been or had been called small Russia or Malayaros or Malayaras, so stuff like that. Such a names are given to Ukraine in in old time or in the past. Ukraine had been called in such a manner. So before telling you the details of this episode, so let me tell you the conclusion of this episode. The conclusion is, if your country has a smaller population than Ukraine, your country should avoid wars at all costs against Russia. So so if you so I'm going to maybe if you live in some Western developed European countries, I think you should listen to this episode. But actually, so the most of the frequent listeners of my podcast are American people, which is why. So if you live in United States of America, I don't think you need to listen to this episode. But actually, so for example, so if, for example, if you are thin person or if you are thin people, so I'd like to recommend this episode. I'd like to recommend this episode to you if you are thin people or if you are thin person, and that is because Finland has maybe I don't know whether you know this news or not, but actually Finland recently joined NATO. So I'm sorry for the sound of car. So, but actually, so anyway, so I think you are going to listen, or I think you are going to hear some drops of the noises outside this residence. So anyway, so coming back to the track of this episode. Anyway, so what was I talking about? I was talking about the recent joining of Finland to to NATO. So anyway, so Finland became a recent member of NATO. Anyway, so when I'm recording this episode is 2022, and I'm creating this episode on May in 2022. Yeah. So anyway, so in which not Ukraine but Finland became one of the members of NATO, which is because the recent war named russo-ukrainian war. Anyway, thinking about that war was based on, or because of that Slavic war taking place between two SSR, two previous SSRs, which are Ukraine and Russia. And so actually, some news or some broadcasts had said that Russia was really big, or Russia was really big, which is what some news and some broadcasting companies said or said or broadcasted. And that is which is why I'd like to tell you, or I'd like you to listen to this episode for avoiding misunderstanding, or for evading misunderstanding. And so I don't know whether there is a linear. So what I'm going to tell you is the reason. So I don't know whether there is a linear relationships, or linear correlation between the population of a country, or the number of troopers, or the number of soldiers of that country. But actually, so in this episode, I'd like you to know. I'd like to tell you the population of Ukraine, and the population of Ukraine is maybe you may know the population of Ukraine, but the population of Ukraine is 41 million. About roughly calculating the population of Ukraine, so that is 41 million, not 41,000, but 41 million, which is the population of Ukraine. And so to which the population of Russia is, wait a moment please. So the population of Russia is, excluding Crimea Peninsula, the population of Russia is 143 million. So what is that? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of the numbers of populations? If that is your question, so simply, please let me know the population of Ukraine, not Ukraine, but let me tell you the population of Finland, and the population of Finland is wait a moment please. I found that. So the population of Finland is 5.5 million. 5.5 million. So let me tell you the population of, or please remember the population of Ukraine. The population of Ukraine is 41 million, and the population of Russia is 143 million. If my memory is correct. The population of Russia is, excluding Crimea, 143 million is the population of Russia. But actually, so the population of Finland is 5 million, only 5.5 million. So roughly calculating. So the population of Ukraine is as large, almost 8 times as large as that of Finland, which is the the relationship between the population of Ukraine and the population of Finland. But so I don't think there is a clear linear relationship or clearly linear correlation between the number of the troopers or the number of the soldiers of a country and the population of that country. But actually, thinking about comparing the population of Ukraine and Finland, Ukraine is far larger. The population of Ukraine is far larger. So which is why, and so comparing the population of comparing the populations between Ukraine and Russia. So roughly calculating, the population of Russia is 3 times as large as that of Ukraine. But actually, the difference is stuff like that. For Russia, maybe the fighting, that Slavic war is three people to one person, which is roughly imagining the fighting situation is stuff like that. So which is why, and this time, or in the case of that Slavic war, or in the case of that war held by those two the past SSRs, so so Ukrainian soldiers have got advanced weapons given by advanced European countries and advanced Western European countries and the United States of America. So thinking about such a situation, it's possible to say that it's not that Russian soldiers are weak, but it's the situation. The correct understanding is that Ukrainian soldiers are strong. It's not. So if you find Russian soldiers really weak, so which can be a mistake. Which is what I'd like you to know this time. So I can't definitely say that whether Russian soldiers are strong or weak, but actually I think it's possible to say that maybe Ukrainian soldiers are stronger than you have imagined, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So coming back to before actually ending this episode, so recently, I'm thinking of creating a brief episode. I'm thinking of creating a brief episode and. Well, afterwards, I'm thinking of creating some brief episodes. I'm trying to shorten the recording time for lasting the creation of episodes of podcast. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you the title and the conclusion again. So the title is this time Маленькая Россия, очень сильно. So the meaning is little Russia or small Russia is very strong. And the conclusion is if your country has a smaller population than Ukraine, your country should avoid wars at all costs against Russia. So which means this time Ukrainian soldiers have Ukrainian soldiers have used advanced weapons. So but actually, for example, if you are Finland personally, or if you are Finn people, or if you are Finn person, and your country doesn't have such advanced weapons, so your country should avoid the war against Russia at all costs. Which is what I'd like you to know this time. So good luck. That's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.